It's time for Where You Live with Gene and Tony, the show that's all about owning, buying, selling, renting, and association management. If it involves a home, we'll talk about it. Here's your chance to get your homeowner questions answered. From the Concierge Landscape Studios, here's Gene and Tony.
Needed the shelter of someone's arms, and there you were.
Welcome to Hour 2 of Where You Live with Gene and Tony. It's great to have you with us this Sunday morning. We're broadcasting from the Concierge Landscape Studios and brought to you the second hour by Extreme Exteriors. Before we talk about some of our upcoming stories, we're going to be talking about HOA, where some people just think that the homeowners think that their board members just have a weird set of priorities with what they're spending money on. We're going to talk about that process and what to expect as a homeowner in an HOA. We're also going to talk about looking at the state of Utah, another state that Tony wants to take a look at having an ombudsman office because
just for HOAs?
Because people can't seem to be adult enough to just take care of their own issues themselves. Mm-hmm. The state needs to take care of it because, as everyone knows, they handle everything correctly. But before we do that, I'd like to let our listeners know we've got a great resource for you. It's a bi-monthly newsletter called What's New. A lot of the topics that we cover in further detail. For example, last week, a lot of our show we devoted to some of the issues that are coming up in the Minnesota State Legislature, dealing with homeowner associations and some reasons for some concerns. We go through that quite a bit in devoting the newsletter to what to take a look at and what to be concerned about. It's yours free for the asking. Give us a call at New Concepts, 952-922-2500. Ask for Courtney, and she'll make sure that you start receiving that subscription, either by mail or sent electronically. Mm-hmm. We've already, I got to say, because of the things that we've devoted on the show the last few weeks on what's happening at the Minnesota Legislature, because of the newsletter, we had a response, Tony, from one of our homeowner associations and someone who's a listener to the show, who said, I want you to know that I wrote to my legislator who was on that key committee where that bill was heard, and she sent the response of that legislator who said, thank you, because of your input and of other people, I want you to know I voted no on that bill. And
that's gratifying.
It really was.
Yeah.
So it is great to see that we are making a difference. And this is where it's real important, because I guess that's really what our show is all about. We know and understand that there need to be laws and rules for people to be able to I guess live in respect,
live together,
and in
That's
peace
right.
together. Right. I understand that, and I believe that. But sometimes, because people don't understand the situation fully, because they really don't have their arms around that
and
problem,
they don't consider the unintended consequences.
Yeah. They end up putting something too quickly that ends up creating more problems than what they were what they were trying to solve.
That's right. And we know too, Gene, that passing more and more and more rules is no guarantee that nothing's ever going to go wrong. Passing more rules is not the answer. Perhaps it's enforcing what you have. Perhaps it's working together in a coalition to resolve problems.
It really is. And so let's with that deal with our next story. And this is out of Detroit, Michigan, from the Detroit Free Press. It was the headlines are plans for pricey street signs and a beach bother some homeowners in their Oxford Township HOA. Mm-hmm. It said some residents in an Oxford Township community are questioning the plans for replacing the street signs. Now, these are private streets that the association owns, and so they say that they need to be replaced. And the association is going to, and that's about to the cost or tune of about $1,000
for street signs. Okay.
And then they want to also spend about $25,000 for a beach that's by their homeowners association that they think needs to be maintained better. The problem is homeowners in that association are saying we're dealing with foreclosures, underwater mortgages, and they think that the board's got things out of priority.
There's more important things to spend the money on.
Yes. Now, this community called Waterstone is a community of 1,200 units. They have golf greens, private lakes. Homeowners pay in, this is interesting now, 2 associations. Okay. One is their immediate subdivision,
All right.
and then there's a master association.
Sure. And we have lots of communities that we manage that are within or under the umbrella of a master association, correct?
Yes. Now, the story is quick to say that, and they get quotes from people who are upset. They said they think that this is just ridiculous to spend this kind of money when we're living in this kind of time where we are in foreclosure. And one of the things that's interesting is that the people who are quoted in this article as being upset, they have failed to realize the fact that we just talked about. There are 2 associations.
Yeah, they're confusing, aren't they? Their immediate homeowners association with the master association, and each of those associations have different jurisdictions, don't they?
And different responsibilities. In this particular case, the master association is responsible for the overall appearance of the association
and amenities. The overall,
So that would be the amenities like the beach or the
golf course.
The golf course, or it could be the play areas, tennis,
tennis courts,
that kind of thing.
Swimming pools, whatever they have.
Yeah.
Because they are responsible for the common areas used by all of the communities, all of the associations under their umbrella, right?
Yes.
Right.
But the master association is not involved with the individual homeowners who are not paying their association dues to the sub-association who is responsible for the insurance, for the grounds care for their property and all of those.
That's right. The Master Association has its own budget. It collects its own fees, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And they have specific items that they have to maintain. Now, what I found interesting about this story is this isn't just some frivolous amenity adding a beach. The beach is needed because water is flooding the basements of some of the homes. So these homeowners that are complaining are acting like this is just some crazy, trip to Rio that nobody needs. It's not. It's a maintenance item that needs to be done to protect property.
Yes, and I've got to give credit where credit is due here to the association. The master, someone who's on the board of the Master Association said, "We've not finalized these projects yet.
Right.
We haven't even put them out for bid.
They were just earmarked on the 2012 budget.
On the 2012
Right.
budget. They're beginning to take a look at it because that's what they're responsible for.
And they said they plan on having a public hearing in April. So they're making their plans. They're setting up a public hearing so that everyone can talk about it and discuss it. But in the meantime, someone's gotten wind of it.
Yes.
And is spreading, I can just see it, spreading rumors among the associations.
And they're saying the association's doing this, and they don't even care how we think. And the association saying, the Master Association saying, we want to put together all the information so we have something solid to give you.
Because we do
give
care what you think.
We do want to know what the numbers are. We want to know what that is, and then we're going to go to you.
Yeah.
And so these are people who are getting a little bit hot. And
prematurely. They're getting prematurely angry.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes,
I think the last paragraph is interesting, too. A lawyer who's quoted as an HOA specialist said residents have the right to see how dollars are spent. That's true. But they have little recourse in dealing with HOA disagreements.
I disagree.
Other than trying to oust board members or by hiring a lawyer to untangle bylaws. Okay, my reaction to that was, right, that's how it's supposed to be. Your recourse is to hire or to elect new board members if you don't like what's going on, or run for the board yourself.
Yes.
What other recourse do members have?
Again, that's what we talked about in our first story and all these others. When people don't like what's going on, folks, it doesn't matter whether you live in an HOA or a city. You've got the same things in front of you. If you're a homeowner and you don't like how the governing body is acting, number one, like you said, they show it at the voting polls.
That's right.
And
you elect new city council members. You elect new board members of your HOA.
Yes.
Right.
But before you jump to conclusions like some homeowners did here,
Yes.
why not attend some meetings where the board's getting together and
another
discussing?
step, another recourse
How
open to
about
members.
asking to be placed on the agenda so that you can share your opinion?
You can address the board.
Yes. How about when these boards and these communities are asking for help, and people will. I mean, cities do this, so homeowner associations do it. They'll put together a committee that will.
We want someone to review the rules and make suggestions if they need to be updated. We want
Yes.
someone to look at this beach project and research it and make a recommendation to the board, right?
How about serving on the board? How about running for the board? How about running for the city council? How about recruiting others that believe the way you do? There's a lot of things that are recourse that people
You've named
have.
five elements. There's 5 options of recourse that members have.
Yes, and so people should not be so afraid that everything is going to heck in a handbasket.
Well, it certainly is if you're not taking part in the operation of your homeowners association. If all you can think of to do is run to an attorney or run to your state legislature, you're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. Am I right?
Oh, yes, because you haven't taken the time to fully understand the situation.
Yep.
So you're not fully sharing that to someone else, and now you have someone else who's going to make a law at the state later level that doesn't understand it because you didn't understand it when you were explaining it to them, and so we end up having a bad law. Well, hey, we need to take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Utah because, yep, they're saying that they need to get involved with HOAs so that people aren't at each other's throats. What do you think? We'll tell you what we think after these messages.